Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Reperon, and today we're doing another Deep Rock Galactic tier list. This is on Stubby's Overclocks. We're going to be talking about each of them and ranking them. So let's begin. Our very first overclock is the Super Slim Rounds. This gives you 5 extra bullets in your magazine, and it reduces the base spread of the gun by quite a bit. Both of these are very good things. They help out Stubby a lot because they work pretty well with any build that you want to build Stubby. Generally with Stubby you build one of two ways, which is either going for more status effects with the electricity or going for more just general purpose submachine gun, so like larger magazines or faster rates of fire, things like that. And this one helps with either of them because you kind of get even more if you're going with the general purpose build, and you get part of that if you're going with the electricity build. So Super Slim Rounds, even though it isn't super flashy or anything, it is still probably one of Stubby's best overclocks, at least as of right now. I would probably put the Super Slim magazines up into A tier. I don't think it turns Stubby into anything crazy, it just makes Stubby much better than it already is. Next up we have Well-Oiled Machine. This gives you 2 more rate of fire and a faster reload speed by 0.2 seconds. Faster reload speed is kind of nice. Stubby already reloads pretty quick, and the more rate of fire is also kind of nice. There's nothing really wrong with this one, and you can still build Stubby however you want. You can build it for more damage, or still build it for the status effect and still kind of have more damage just because of the increased rate of fire. So I think I'd put this one into B tier. It's not bad, but it's, again, nothing super flashy or anything like that. It's just another good overclock for any sort of build you want to go with. Up next we have the EM Refire Booster. This increases your electricity damage with Stubby by 2. It also increases your rate of fire by 4, which is a lot of rate of fire, but you do have an increased base spread by 50%. Now I think Stubby has a reduced spread modification at either tier 3 or tier 4, I could be wrong about that. That makes this much more manageable. Still doesn't feel all that strange at close to medium range with Stubby. At longer ranges, Stubby's going to struggle regardless of what you're doing unless you're running the Super Slim Rounds, in which case it actually does do decently well then. The Refire Booster, you get a lot more damage. I like running this with not going with the status effect build, but going for more of the general purpose build for Stubby. You can run this with the status effect build and it works quite well too. So it works well either way, and there is ways to get around the downside. So I think this one is another really good one for the submachine gun. I'm not sure if I'd put it into S tier, but I'm probably going to put it up into A tier along with Super Slim Rounds. I think these are 2 of the best overclocks for the submachine gun. They help it out quite a bit in what it's kind of lacking. Lightweight rounds gives you 180 extra ammo overall, but you lose out on 1 point of damage and 2 rate of fire. Losing out on the rate of fire isn't too bad. It is noticeable, but you can make it up with modifications, so it's not that big a deal. And same with the damage loss, isn't too bad. The extra ammo is really nice for Stubby, and I like running this one with all the extra ammo, so then I just have tons and tons of bullets with Stubby. It's one that I use fairly often, but I don't know how useful it really is. I think it's pretty good, so I'd probably put it up into B tier. I don't think it's quite as good as these other 2 unstable overclocks. Both of these revolve around your turret. So the first one is the turret arc. And this makes it so when you shoot your turret, can create an arc that deals damage to nearby enemies. It'll also slow them, and it can arc between 2 turrets if you have 2 of them. That's usually the way that I use it. So this can do damage over time, which is pretty useful, and the arc range has a maximum reach of about 15 meters, which is quite a bit of reach because it's kind of in any direction that you really want to put it. You lose out on 120 overall ammo though, and you lose out on 2 rate of fire. Again, the 2 rate of fire isn't so bad, but the big loss of ammo does hurt this. This one's also rather difficult to use on higher hazard difficulties when there is a lot of bugs. If there's a lot of bugs swarming, it can be really difficult to actually hit your turrets because there's just so much stuff in your way. And I find this one usually to be more of a downside, although it is super fun to use, and when used correctly, it can be really strong. You can set up a kind of a choke point, if there is one available, to where you can zap a lot of the bugs coming in from one particular direction. But with the bugs being able to crawl all over the walls in this, it's not always that consistent. So turret arc is not one of my favorite ones. It can be fun to play around with, but it's just very situational, so I think I'd put this one into C tier. Next we have Turret EM Discharge. This makes it so when you shoot your turret, it discharges a 5 meter range of electricity that deals damage to all enemies around it and allies around it too, but you lose out on 5 magazine size and 2 damage with the submachine gun. The submachine gun already has low damage, so losing out on 2 more damage does hurt it quite a bit. The extra magazine you can kind of work around. The extra damage you can even work around too that you lose, but I find this one also to be very situational. Again, in higher hazard difficulties, sometimes it's really difficult to actually hit your turret from any sort of range, and you don't want to be shooting it too close now because there is a real chance you could be injuring yourself with it. Allies could also be injured with it, especially if they don't understand what it is, because I don't see a whole lot of people taking this one with Stubby. The more common ones are any of the balanced or the clean overclocks for Stubby, so some people get more used to just kind of hanging around the engineer's turrets, and if you start shooting this, it can kind of zap them and hurt them. That being said, slowing them down and zapping the bugs is pretty useful, but it doesn't always work against everything. It doesn't work against MacTerra. It doesn't always work against crowds because they might be climbing on different walls. It depends on where your turret is placed and where the bugs are kind of coming from. There's a lot of variables here, and it's similar to Arc Turret, and I'd probably it's similar to Turret Arc, so I'd probably put it into C tier as well. It does have some uses, so next time I think we're going to be looking at the Warthog shotgun and then the breach cutter, and then I should have looked at all of the overclocks for each of the weapons in Deep Rock Galactic until we get the new weapons. I'm also going to be doing a very large overclock list later. That's just all the overclocks against one another, both in terms of fun and in terms of how good they are. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you guys so very much for watching this. I really do appreciate it. If you guys did enjoy this and you're not subscribed, be sure that you get subscribed. That way you get notifications whenever I post any of these videos. Special thanks to all of my supporters over on Patreon and here on the YouTube membership program. If you guys would like to be a part of that, you can go down into the links in the description. Click on either one of those. You also get early access to some videos and some extra perks from the YouTube membership program. Thanks everybody who does that. I really do appreciate it. It does help out the channel a lot. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to all of you guys next time. Till then, stay cool, and bye.